Spend time with your family any chance you can, because really you don't know. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to see that person again at the next family gathering. And we were very blessed to be able to, in the short time that we had, say goodbye and tell her that we loved her and be with her when she passed away. And one of the songs that we sang in the hospital was this song. It was written by a really dear friend of ours when he lost his mother. This was way back when. He pastored the church that Marsha and I attended in Findlay, and he wrote this song in honor of his mother, and I'd like to sing it in honor of my sister. And my beautiful younger sister's playing for me.
So this is about the time during the service when my mom will lean over and say, "They really need to wrap this up right now." However, I am the favorite, so she would have been perfectly fine with me being up here. Thank you all for being here. This is a testament to the woman that my mother was. And the fact that some of you drove 100 miles, 300 miles, 400 miles, 5 miles, it's really touching. So thank you. My mom was not a hateful person, but she hated a lot of things. Perhaps some she disliked, while others she viewed with more hostility. Regardless of severity, there were some things in life that drove her absolutely nuts, and she had no inhibitions about letting us know how she felt about them. For one, she hated frogs, really hated frogs, especially when I brought them up from the creek in buckets and she found them in the garage. She hated pollen, and frequently notified me of the pollen index every allergy season, regardless of whether I had allergies. She hated dust on her white Jeep Cherokee and made me wash it 3 to 4 times a week. When she bought a gold Volvo, I only had to wash it 2 times a week. She hated dirt and grime, but always allowed me and Sarah to play in the mud by the creek or ride the ATV through the walnut orchards in the rain, boots slopping with muck and wet dripping from our laughing faces. She hated reptiles, especially snakes, but fed my iguana or chameleon if I wasn't able to, and even cleaned the cage if necessary. She hated clutter, but spared no expense when buying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or dinosaurs for me just for being her son, despite whether I deserved them or not. She hated video games. The Super Mario Brothers or Street Fighter were a constant on my Sega or Game Boy. Even after I threw the controller or slapped the computer monitor, she still let me continue to play my games. Not without a talking to with the belt. She hated my music, but allowed me to go to Petaluma or San Francisco to see an MXPX or Primus show. She even came out to watch my punk band, The Wedges, perform and even defended our immature songs to the other parents. Even with songs titled, "Would You Still Love Me If I Had No Arms?" or "Which I Crap My Pants." She despised theme parks, but went to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, and Six Flags with us, content to sit on a bench in 100-degree heat while we waited in line for 2 hours for a 60-second ride. Yet her eyes beamed behind her sunglasses when she saw the smile spread on our faces as we returned. She hated the inconsistent pounding of my drum set, but tears of pride slid down her cheeks on the mornings I played worship at church. Yes, my mom hated a lot of things. She also hated noise, but loved the chaos of a house crowded with family and friends and the joyous screams of children. She hated mushrooms, but always cooked them when I came over for dinner because she knew I enjoyed them. She hated stupidity, but managed not to kill me between the ages of 12 and 18. They got close. She hated poverty and made it her mission to spare us wanted stomachs or an empty space under the Christmas tree. She loathed sickness and disease, but always wanted to be a nurse, absorbing every modicum of detail regarding symptoms and remedies. When those failed, she fought disease through praying in tongues and a fiery spirit of intercession on our behalf. She hated the smell of vomit, but selflessly washed our sheets in the middle of the night and scrubbed the stains from the carpet. One thing she really hated most was sports. If you know our family, then you know. She hated baseball, but always took the drive to San Francisco, to Candlestick or AT&T, facing the traffic and crowds, which she hated. Bearing the cold, chill wind, which she also hated. To sit in those uncomfortable seats and watch the Giants, for better or for worse. Not for her, but for Dad, and later, for me and Sarah. She hated basketball, but liked it because it was indoors. She hated the stuffiness of the gym, but sat at the top of the bleachers for 8 years, her exhortations carrying over the coach and the crowd, and finding the way to find me and fueling every step, every shot, and every pass. She hated football. I mean, she really hated football. Something she shared with my wife, Christine. Not much could sway her disgust of that game, but when the 49ers were good, she let me and Dad watch the games on Sunday afternoons, just to see her 2 men together, and to see her grandgirls, of course. She didn't care much for tennis, but came to the few matches I had in high school and cheered me on no matter how awful I was. She hated volleyball too, but suffered for her niece, Abby, spending rainy days in the bedlam of a warehouse where 6 volleyball games played simultaneously. She liked golf, not to play, but to watch, mainly because it was quiet. If she had played it, I'm sure she would have hated it. Just like I do. Yes, my mom hated a lot of things. She hated when people were alone on holidays and never hesitated to allow acquaintances into her home on Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter. Even family birthdays were not off limits to those who needed a warm place of community. She hated sushi, and no matter how hard we tried, we could never get her to take a bite of anything from Arigatos. However, when her grandgirls made some sushi and invited her over for dinner, she savored every bite and took picture after proud picture. She hated violence and injustice and sad endings in movies. She hated being apart from her family. She hated the sound of her granddaughters when they cried, even when they were being bribed. She comforted them with a sweet treat while mom and dad weren't looking. She hated our rules regarding watching TV, and when she watched the girls, let them sit and vegetate in front of the television for hours. Giving them a wink and saying, "It's our little secret," before we came to pick them up. As I've gotten older, I've grown to hate some things as well, and can only attribute it to genes. For instance, I hate when people are alone on the holidays. I hate injustice, inequality, and violence. I hate poverty and hunger and all the sorrow in this world. But most of all, I hate all the times I never picked up the phone when she called, or the times I complained when she bored me with every detail on a random subject with a pollen index or a familiar face she insisted I knew. I hate the times I didn't thank her for sacrificing her dreams to clean up my vomit, watch my basketball games, endure my drumming, and mold me into the man I am today. I hate the reality that I'll never get a chance to ignore her calls again or hear her bombard me with details. I hate the fact that my daughters won't hear her voice echo through the walls of our homes, and those arms won't be spread wide to envelop them in unconditional love. I hate that she won't call to lure me over to eat her fresh-baked cinnamon rolls. I hate that she won't drop in unannounced at the office or show up at my door with arms bursting with gifts for Haley, Kaylin, and Evelyn. What I hate most of all is the terrible reality that she is gone. However, there is one thing I've grasped and held firm to through this tragedy. It is the undeniable truth that God was and is and always will be there. In the shadow of night, in the doubt and disobedience, in the minutiae of existence, and in our dying day, He is by our side. Whether you believe He is there is inconsequential. He is there, waiting for the moment when you are ready. Whether you raise your fist and curse Him, He is there. Whether you are broken down and dark thoughts cloud your mind, He is there. And all you have to do is ask. And I know, from the very core of my being, that is something Mom loved most of all.
Won't ever be ashamed. I know you need somebody.